Here's a quote from Hans Schemm that I found on, I didn't find it, somebody else found it. The NSDAP Loved Christ Telegram channel found it. And so I'm just sharing it here and then a few other quotes from Hans Schemm. And he was a great individual, seems like. I've read more and more of what he wrote and just, I mean, phenomenal information that he provided. He spoke the truth. And I think he was called like the pastor of the National Socialist Party or something like that. I don't remember the exact term, but he had great influence in the party. And before the war, he was just a regular teacher. And obviously he was Christian. I'm not sure if he was a minister or not, but once he joined the party and got heavily involved, and then they gained power, he was extremely influential within the party. So so here it says, and this is Hans Schemm stated this or wrote this in 1931. You can see where the NSDAP Loved Christ got it from on the bottom. And he wrote, when steel is exposed to fire, it will glow and shine in its own distinct way. When I expose the German people to Christianity, they will, which remember 95% were Christian, they will respond in their racial way. They will create German cathedrals and compose a German hymn. We want to preserve, not destroy, what God has created, just as the oak and fire preserve their difference in the forest. We are, right, National Socialists, are accused of wanting to deify the idea of race. But since race is the will of God, we want nothing more than to keep the race pure, to fulfill God's law. And that is 100% true. And that's what people who are antichrist don't understand, that is what is being said in the Bible, because the Bible is the white man's book. It is the white Aryan European's book. We wrote it, our history, our ancestry. It's about us, and it tells us how to live our life. So it's not Jewish, has nothing to do with quote unquote Jews at all. And I don't know if Hans Schemm fully understood that. I think he probably thought the Old Testament had to do with Jews, but the New Testament he believed had to do with Europeans and that Christ was Aryan. And he obviously understood the main point in the Bible is kind after kind, to remain separate, to keep the race pure. And he knew that and understood that. And that is extremely important. And obviously, that completely and utterly 100% coincides with the National Socialist doctrine because it's based on their understanding of Christianity, which is this right here. So, and a few other things Hans Schemm wrote. So this was printed in 1936. Hans Schemm passed away in 1935 in a plane crash. So these are things he wrote prior to 1936. So he wrote or stated, human life without the concept of God leads to negation and criminality. This is demonstrated by the sinister ideological development from the French Revolution to Bolshevism, right? They're all godless. The highest human values become synonymous with God and religion. So, all you pagans out there, think about that. What this National Socialist, what this revered National Socialist is stating here. The systematic destruction of blood based racial purity, the deliberate suppression, I don't know if suppression is the right word, but I think it's the deliberate the bastardization, is probably what it should read, and the associated annihilation of positive will to live all have their origin and source in the most inferior type of human being, the Jew, the creator of materialism, rationalism, internationalism, and Marxism, right? So I couldn't translate this whole book. I wish I could have, but I didn't have access to it. This is all I got. If anybody has a link, please send me this book. I don't think I found it yet. I have to look. I have like literally thousands of documents saved in my computer, so I don't know. But when I was looking for it yesterday, I could not find a full PDF. So anyway, and know what he says here that the Jew it created materialism and rationalism, right? So I've talked about rationalism in other videos, and right, and the National Socialists rejected rationalism. Who followed rationalism, or at least partly followed it? Nietzsche. So the Germans, the National Socialists, or many of the National Socialists, rejected Nietzsche because he was a Jew lover. Now, some National Socialists, who I guess weren't aware of Nietzsche or didn't read him, did follow him, but it was very, very minor. Nietzsche basically had no influence on the National Socialist Party whatsoever, unlike what is claimed in modern times. And then under that, it says the simple, unassuming, devout German Christian has always thought that paganism was somehow similar to godlessness. It was pure fetishism. One worshipped a stone or something similar and made prayer wreaths. And so, anyway, I need to know what he said after that, but I couldn't get it from here since the whole book was not available. So, but anyway, I just found this stuff interesting. And I think Hans Schemm is probably one of the best reads you can find if you can find his work. So his original work.